When I made my own license plates, the system did not like that. 2020 really gave me 2020 vision. The eyes and ears of my heart remained open to receive the facts, and I did so many deep dives and research to see what was really happening in the world. Hi, I'm Holly, and I'm sharing a part of my journey to bring courage and inspire you on yours. Back in September of 2020, I revoke any previously deceived consent. I restore divine law. I am a living woman. I'm not a fictional corporate entity. We have been deceived, tricked, and trapped by these corporations, and I decided to make my own license plates. And in 2022, I made them. So 2020, I had stated, I wrote down that I revoked any previously deceived consent, and this was my information card. 2022, I made my own private property license plates, not for hire. I really lost total faith in what we had been brought up to believe is good for us. These corporations that lied and said that income tax was only coming in to regenerate the economy after the war. It's supposed to be a year or two, and here we are being tricked into paying income tax on our wages. I'm not a federal employee. I don't reside within the federal community of Ottawa. And yet they continue to take, and when you refuse to comply with their orders, they don't like it. The thing is that not all police are bad. The majority that I've met in my life, as far as I know, they were good people. They are trained to enforce policies of the corporation. They're policy enforcers, and a lot of them are policing for profit. They take the terms of our life in exchange for the terms of the financials. And I had enough. And I was not rude. I really wanted to be able to have an open dialogue with the constables who pulled me over. And he was having none of it, because what happened was I hit the buttons that made his pride and ego feel threatened. And I was pulled over, and he asked about my plates, and I explained to him that I'm not a fictional corporation. I'm not a corporate entity. I'm not driving a commercial vehicle. I'm traveling from point A to point B in my private property. And in less than 5 minutes, it was closer to 3 minutes, he reached in through my window, took my keys out of the ignition, reached over me, undid my seatbelt, opened my door, and pulled me out. Nowhere in there did he ask me to exit my automobile. I asked if I had a contract with him. I said, I have no contract with you. I have no contract with any authority above you. He said he was going to have to impound my vehicle. I said, it's not a vehicle. This is my private property. I said, do you claim my property? that was the point where he had it. I asked for his supervisor twice. I said, please contact your supervisor. They will know I'm in the middle of my live life claim. I'm a living woman. He ignored my first request, and the second request, he stated that he was the supervisor. I am the supervisor. When he pulled me out, I said, my son is in the back. He forcefully withdrew me from my automobile, put me up against the side of it. I felt like I was going to be thrown onto the ground until I said, my son is in the back. He said I was under arrest for obstruction of a peace officer, even though he's contracted as a constable, and put me in the back of his cop car. I stated to him that I needed to poop, and we were literally in the middle of nowhere. And I said, just let me go in the ditch. And he was afraid that I was going to run away. And I said, why would I leave my son? Just let me poop in the ditch. I almost just took my pants off and did it in the back of the car, although I know that I would have had more issues with that. And I remained of sound mind the entire time. I didn't even shed a tear, and I'm a pretty emotional person. Woman. And he had to call for backup. And him and his partner kept trying to get me to express something that they wanted, just because I would be in a scared state or whatever. They kept trying to say that the VIN number on the door was different than the VIN number on the windshield, even though I had covered the VIN number on my windshield, and he chose to go into my property again and remove my covering so that he could see the number. And I tried to make a conditional acceptance of an agreement with him, stating that I will show him my proof of ownership, that I own this property, if he lets me go and poop in the bush, just right there in the ditch. I didn't even care if they were watching, just let me poop. I was on my way home after being out all day. And I said, I will show you that I own the automobile if you let me go and poop. He agreed. He conditionally accepted this agreement that I offered him. I told him where to go in to find my ownership, which he did, and he came back and would not allow me to poop. He made an agreement with me and broke our contract. So I had to poop my pants. Because him and his partner, and I didn't call him names. I was totally calm the entire time. And I said, you guys are mean. You are so mean. And this went on for a while, and they claimed my property, stole it, and made me call a friend so that I could get picked up because they were stealing my property. And he They called back up. Another cruiser pulled up, and the other constable was standing in between the police car and my automobile and just kind of looking around, and you could tell he was like... And so the constable finally let me out of the car and says, I'm going to let you off easy, and I'm just going to give you 2 tickets. And he gave me a ticket for no insurance and improper plates or something like that. And of course, I signed it under duress. And as I am not voluntarily accepting this, you're forcing me to take this, just like you forced me out of my property, leaving my son in your care, asking him questions without me being present. Signed the tickets under duress. And did you know that on the tickets that they give you, they're calling themselves a complainee. So they're contracted with the corporation as a constable. When they claim that you are under arrest, they're now a peace officer. And when they write you a ticket, they're a complainee. There's no consistency. None. They box you in. They do whatever they can to use fear tactics against you. Stole my property. I was a woman with food. I had just gone and picked fresh Saskatoon berries off the bush. I had gone and seen the farmer and got fresh honey, fresh buckets of honey from the farmer, stopped at the grocery store, bought more food. So I'm a woman with food, with my son, in my property, traveling from point A to point B, and he takes the terms of my life in exchange for the terms of the financials. Using fear tactics, assault and aggression, and trespassing. The People's Court is the postal system. This happened 2.5 years ago, and I'm still here. Using the postal system with certified documents, and they refuse to respond because they can't. Because I'm a living woman. So they pass the baton onto these corporations above them, who I also have no contract with. I respond to them, or I don't even respond because the envelopes are still sealed. I have no contract with them. I refuse to open whatever they've sent me. And they pass the baton on again with no response. These corporations, we cannot restructure them for them to work. They need to go. Once they are removed, we rebuild. I hold my live life claim. I know who I am. I am the land. I am the sea. I hold the blood covenant with the prime creator. These fear tactics have worked for way too long. That's it. It's over. Game over. Those beings with malevolent intent are being removed. You can no longer scare us We no longer live in fear, under your thumb. I am not chattel that you can just move as you please. The tricks and traps and the tactics they use are all there. You can find this information for yourself once you're ready to see it. And it is deep. And the thing is, there are great people out there who have done the work to set us up so that all of us are fulfilled in life. Russell-J. Gould is a great man. David-Win-Miller, who is no longer here. There are other people out here who have done the work, and they are all doing exactly what they need to do, what their purpose is, to shed light on the sins and the malevolence of these corporations. A warrior calls. I can't think of his name right now. A warrior calls. Mark. Anyways, Kevin Annette. There are tribunals that have happened within the past 4 years and farther away for crimes against humanity, crimes against church and state. The crimes against humanity is the treason, the fraud, the perjury. You can find all of these documents when you're ready. You can only see once you are ready. And I've done what I can. And I'll continue to do what I can. And I know that when some of us have chosen to really step into these roles, which is calling this out, that you're put on a list. And my intentions are for the betterment of all beings. I have never wished harm on anyone, even those who have done us harm. Because here's the thing. People can change. When you stop and correct and you take accountability in your life, you send the ripple effect out. And I have been attacked in more ways than one, not just by the corporations, and I probably don't even know all of the ways. I've seen it in my relationships with my exes, with the malevolent intent that some of them had for me. And I just need you to know that when you step into truth, when you step into purpose, when you are a truth seeker and truth speaker, you are protected. I know that in the past we have seen people be taken out for being whistleblowers and stuff like that. I couldn't sit back anymore and watch these people lose their businesses, these people take their lives, because these corporations had continued to steal from them, especially after 2020. No matter what you believe, when people are forced to make health choices, to keep businesses, to Generational family businesses. I met people who had taken the hokey pokey and they felt so taken advantage of because they had to lay people off from their businesses. And then those people were suing the business. Like some of these guys, they were running out their last of their credit cards and they were going to file bankruptcy. I don't want to get off track. Enough is enough. Stop being afraid of using your voice. Stop being afraid of speaking the truth. Because I have been doing it for the past 5 years and I've lost a lot of people out of my life. Because I did the research. Because I spoke up. From the time of the first lockdown, I had people calling my real estate company, complaining that I thought that all of 2020 was a hoax. That I would go into the hardware store and not wear a mask. People were literally calling my real estate company to complain about what I knew. It's nuts. Until you are authentic. When you are authentic, you are protected. When you are tuned into your internal guidance, you are protected. After that, I'll get back to what I was originally speaking of. After that, my son did not like police. So what I did was I brought him to the police station. Okay, we're back. I brought him to the police station to show him that he doesn't have to be afraid. To show him that just because there was the one jerk doesn't mean they're all jerks. They're trained into a corporation to be policy enforcers. They know not much of the law. The true law. And that's not their fault. What is their fault is if they continue after seeing some of the facts, if they continue to be the policy enforcers which harm people. And I asked if they had body cams. I asked who the supervisor was, and it was not who pulled me over. The lies and deceit come from everywhere. And it is absolutely disgusting. And I found out later that constable that pulled me over and played games with me had many complaints against him already. And these are the types of people who are usually protected, although the world is shifting and these corporations are ending. There is so much happening behind the scenes, and I have total faith in this shift. And whether it's you just researching, you don't have to do what I did. You don't need to make your own plates. What you do need to do is you need to find the facts, and you need to protect your sons and daughters. The end of every single empire, there is so much gender confusion. And we are here. So stay strong. Stand firm. 24/24. Know who you are. Bliss, strength, and courage for each and every one of you.